Proac Sam from the Living and Working Abroad podcast. Welcome to today's vlog, and we've got another question from one of our clients. You can follow our blogs at proacpartnership.com, and we also feature on our Living and Working Abroad page on Facebook, and we've also got a group for expats, for Living and Working Abroad expats for UK and Cyprus on Facebook as well. So join those, like, share and comment our articles and vlogs, but also leave us a question, and next time we could be featuring your question. Today's question that we received, very poignant. It asks that my daughter has a school trip next June 2019 as part of the ongoing First World War commemorations to the Somme. And will the European Health Card, the EHIC card, still be valid then? So this is a really interesting question, not just for school trips but and the planning, but also for holidays next year. There's a lot of scaremongering, especially from Ryanair, about things coming to a halt when, you know, most people realise that there are international air travel agreements which are independent of the EU and nothing to do with the EU, and the probability of there being any major difficulties with airline travel or boat travel are fairly remote. There could be customs hold-ups for commercial vehicles at borders, and they could hold up holidaymakers, but the world will carry on. Let's have a bit more of a look at what the European Health Card does. It's for three eventualities. First of all, if you retire abroad, then the EHIC card exchanges your care so that your local expat country of residence can provide that care. It's not reciprocal care, so an EU expat living and working in the UK will get treatment under the UK NHS, which is fully comprehensive and generally free at point of sale, apart from maybe dental charges or prescription charges. For another country, there are different systems, and there can be different levels of cover, and there can be different charges and different distributions. So it's not like for like service, it's just availability under the EU Social Insurance Agreement to give reciprocal care for those pensioners. For holidaymakers and travellers, the cover is provided for emergency cover, but if you have more than one or two treatments abroad, it will either be refused or you could find yourself with a bill from the UK NHS on your return. Third class of people that it generally covers are workers. So if you are working in the UK but you get a short-term up to 18-month contract overseas, then a EHIC card gives you reciprocal cover during that time. After Brexit, what will be the situation? Well, the European Health Card is issued under the EU Social Security Agreement. And it is an agreement. It's not a directive, it's not part of EU law. The EU doesn't control fiscal and tax policy for countries within the EU. So there is an agreement on common treatment of social insurance, but it's not a binding treatment, it's not a binding arrangement, and therefore there are still elements and bilateral treaties that can exist. For example, there is a bilateral treaty between Cyprus and the UK, and this will then become to the prominence after Brexit. So basically, once Brexit happens, there is no mechanism for the UK to issue European health cards to people that qualify for them from the UK. And in the EU, if you get a European health card, it's not going to cover you in the UK if there is a clear Brexit on the 29th of March 2019. Now, on the other side of the equation, you need to consider if there's a transition. Now, if there's a transition agreement, we already know that in that transition period, the arrangements will be maintained through to December 2019 as they are in the place. So there'll be no difference to the UK's membership of the EU. So UK expats in the EU or EU expats in the UK will still be able to use their European health card and still be able to get the benefits from that, and even have new cards issued for new travel, new holidays, new short-term working or relocations. But beyond 2020, the purpose of the transition period is to finalise future agreements of coordination between the EU and the UK. During the transition period, everything will remain the same. So if there's a transition period, then our holidaymaker daughter will still be able to use an EHIC card in June next year. It's very likely to happen, even if there is no deal in terms of being no custom and trade agreement, there'll still be some form of withdrawal treaty, and it's likely to protect workers and social insurance rights. The UK have already confirmed that they will protect the rights of EU expats living and working in the UK. So it'd be very churlish if the EU didn't respect that, although individual countries might create their own rules independent of the EU and the Brexit process. So ProAct and Living and Working Abroad, we are not insurance brokers, and we're not here to advise or sell you anything like that. But you know, when you're traveling, you should always take out travel insurance. You know, with the EHIC card, it's for emergencies, and if you're retired, it's slightly different. But for holidaymakers and workers, there is no substitute for travel insurance. And when you're going on a holiday, there's lots of ways to get travel insurance. Your credit card provider can often provide you with that travel insurance if you book for the trip and pay for it on their credit card. Bank accounts sometimes offer, bank account holders have a free annual travel plan. You can buy an annual travel insurance plan separately for you or the whole family. And also trip by trip, your airlines and your travel agents will always offer you trip travel insurance to cover you. So if you want a comprehensive travel that's going to cover you for more extreme holidays like skiing, then always consider your travel insurance. What we're looking for after Brexit, from the 30th of March next year, is new bilateral treaties to be agreed on social security agreements, reciprocal agreements, and these are likely to come into place. Now, technically the UK can't discuss or negotiate any of these, anything that contravenes its membership of the EU, but social insurance is something that they could put in place, and agreements already exist with countries like Cyprus and the EU. So there's no public comment on this, but we continue to monitor the situation, see what's happening. But bilateral treaties should start appearing where the UK signs up, and it could be that with the transitional period that the UK finds an accommodation within the European Social Security Agreement to have a common treatment for all the EU countries. That's a big question mark, because the UK is leaving the EU and all those arrangements, so it would take quite a big step for the UK to start negotiating a big pack in there. That's what the transition period is. So that's as definitive as it is today, and it's the same as if you're travelling to the USA or to Africa or to Asia or to Russia or to South America. When you're travelling on holiday or for work, consider travel insurance. The EHIC card, the European health card, will still be available as long as the UK is in the EU or in a transition period. And after that, we're looking for new agreements, new bilateral treaty agreements, whether with individual countries or the EU. Like, comment and share this vlog and this email with your friends and family. and comment and ask us questions, and maybe next time we'll feature your question at Living and Working Abroad page on Facebook or our blog at proactpartnership.com. Thanks very much and see you next time.